is at work or wherever you are, and that you enjoy these stories so much. That is all I wanted to do with this channel, and honestly, reading these stories brings me so much joy as well, so I'm really happy that you are enjoying it. So today's topic of this episode is going to be crazy people. I've teased this on my last video, but I'm pretty sure these are all mental. Just from the titles, obviously I don't read the stories up front, so we'll see. We'll be the judge of that. So sit down, get a drink, get comfortable, and we'll get going. I would really appreciate if you'd be able to like and subscribe and maybe leave a sweet little comment for this video, because it really helps me out, but don't feel obligated to do anything. I love you guys anyways, and let's jump into the story. Let's go. First story of today is smashing with the awards, like so many awards, and I got 55.8k upvotes. Crazy stuff, so I'm excited. Let's read it. Am I the asshole for not taking down my video that was a gift from my best man? I have a sister that's 6 years older than me. My parents for years cancelled me at last minute because of my sister. I have a basketball game. Oops, sorry, sister doesn't feel like going out. I'm graduating. Oops, sorry, sister had a bad day at work. They have missed both major and small events in my life because of her meltdowns. I met the love of my life. We decided to tie the knot. From the beginning, I told my parents how I'm worried my sister will ruin another special moment in my life. My mom told me over and over again it won't happen. The day of my wedding, I received a voicemail from my mom saying they couldn't come because my sister's dog was sick and she was upset. I was hurt. My best man, however, is a jokester. He took my phone, then went to my fiance and asked if he could post a video of our wedding as a gift on social media. She loved this idea. I had no idea about it until I came home. Our honeymoon was at a lakeside cabin, no cell service. The post caption was, "My best friend, he is an amazing person, even if his parents never showed up for him." Video was still pictures of us next to her parents, me on the dance floor cutting the cake, where you normally would see both parents in wedding pictures. The sound behind the video was my mom's voicemail explaining how they couldn't come because my sister's dog was sick. I came home a week later to hundreds of messages. Family members from both sides insisting I take the video down. I was told my sister hasn't stopped crying. My mom is refusing to leave the house. I may be the asshole here. I didn't take it down when I got my messages. I didn't call my family back right away. I waited until my vacation time was over at work and enjoyed my time with my wife in our new home before I contacted anyone. My dad told me to take down the video. It was just a bad night for them. That they will make it up to me and my wife for not coming. My reply was exactly, how do you plan to make up my wedding? It's a once in a lifetime thing. You choose to ignore my feeling on the whole matter. And then he just repeated that he will make it up to me. I told him I would take down the video only when he made up missing my wedding. Flustered, we both hung up the phone before we both said things we shouldn't have. Am I the asshole here? I could have just taken down the video. Ooh, I feel like this is spicy. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Honestly, the crazy people here are obviously the parents. Like, what? sick dog. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Especially after he said so clearly that he already voiced his concerns about his parents not coming to his wedding. To me, that is just so sad that he even already before the wedding had the thought to have to remind his parents to come to his wedding and to not let his sister influence it. That is just so sad. I feel like they got what they deserved, and to me it kind of sounds like the dad who was calling hadn't reflected on the situation at all. He was just kind of like, yeah, like, take the video down. It was a bad day for us. Like, what do you mean it was a bad day for you? You literally didn't come to the wedding of your son. I would be screaming. Like, that is a never talking to your family ever again offense. Like, it makes me so sad, honestly. I really hope he enjoyed his time with his new family from his wife. That's just mean behaviour. I don't have anything else to say, so let's look at some of these comments. The top comment is, not the asshole. The truth hurts sometimes, and your parents and sister just got whammied. What's that? Your friend is awesome. Please leave the video up. Yeah, do. Like, if they can't come to your wedding, they can hold out like a shitty little video about them. Too bad. Not the asshole. They were finally called out on their blatant favorism, and they obviously didn't take it well. I'd hold off inviting them anywhere or to anything IP, at least for a while. Don't make them your first priority when you clearly aren't theirs. Focus on your new wife and your absolutely awesome best friend. They both sound like keepers. Yup, love the best friend there. Not the asshole. I think I'm in love with the best man. He absolutely showed your parents favorism, hypocriticism in the best way ever. I hope there will never be an invite to a baby shower, etc. Yeah, please do not invite them to any more moments. They'll not show up, and that is the only way they're gonna learn. So, typically, when someone asks you to take down a video of them because it's embarrassing, you do it because it's polite. But in this case, hard, not the asshole. They didn't have a good reason to miss it, and they're rightfully mortified. They made the bet, they can lie in it. Yeah, right, like, it wasn't even a good excuse. Like, it mortifies me. It's so rude, honestly, because his sister's dog is sick. Like, were you guys all sitting in your lounge room, like, watching the dog puke, or what were you doing? Like, that you don't realize that as a parent, like, that is just not a valid excuse. Like, you're grown-ups, you had your kids, you'd assume a certain sense in people, but I guess it's too much to ask for some people. That is just, I don't know. Another comment, not the asshole. It was just a bad night out of many, many other bad nights where they ignored you in favour of your sister's whims. See if your best man can pull up footage from your graduation and maybe pictures from games they missed, and produce a greatest hits compilation video to post right next to the wedding video. Okay, I would have to love that. That is actually rude, right? Like, he wasn't at the parents weren't at his graduation or at any other event. Like, how can you put kids in the world and then you act like that? That is just mean behaviour. And just, it makes me so sad for him, because obviously his parents aren't really supportive of him, like, and just for the sister, that's just shitty parents, honestly. Not okay. The crazy people here, definitely the parents. But let's continue. Alright, again, a heavily awarded story, 63.5k upvotes, close to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works at weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already or looking for someone to take it out on, but it's a lot. Like how said, do you have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James comes in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting really sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job. Please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all the drama, I still had my job. We were just acting, and we would have done it a couple times. Whenever a customer would lose their temper at Danielle and I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who had come in angry will apologize and say they didn't mean it. It is kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friend from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they've gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? Ooh, no. I love this. That is amazing, honestly. That is such a funny little idea. It's such a funny little prank. Like, that really doesn't hurt anyone. It just shows customers who are really annoying and really overly picky at what their comments could actually do. Because while it sounds like that is kind of like a smaller coffee shop, like bigger coffee shops or something are a lot more quick to fire you if there's too many complaints. So, you know, I don't know the actual situations here, but if we assume that these are actually like real Karen moments and they just blowing off about nothing, that's just so frustrating. And I always feel like the people doing that just don't really put any thought behind it. Like you said, like, he can't physically make the coffee any hotter when it comes straight out of the coffee machine. I don't know, I think on some coffee machines you can turn up the temperature, but on mine, for example, you can't, so it's just as hot as it comes out. So, you know, I don't understand what people get angry about. If someone then continues to tell you, like, so this is just how hot it comes out of the coffee machine, and in here just continue to make a fuss about nothing, it just irks me, because why would you do that? Like, you're just ruining your own day, being angry at nothing, and you're ruining someone else's day, and that is literally a consequence. You don't know what has happened before, how bad someone's day was. So I feel like you should always treat employees of whatever with respect, even if something is actually going wrong. Like, working up a temper is just not going to help in any case, and that is a real life consequence that these people have to face. If you were throwing a tantrum as a grown ass person asshole that is a perfect way of dealing with hostile customers. Yeah. Not the asshole. I think it's hilarious and maybe it'll teach some people a lesson about controlling their assholery. I accidentally went back. You find it. Okay. You're not an asshole at all. Your hero retailers neat. Brilliant. Yeah, like that's correct. Not the asshole. Customers can be freaking annoying. Usually people are pretty respectful and reasonable, even when they have a legit complaint. But every now and then there's that one guy or girl that comes in and just can't be made happy. They are the worst. I've taken the approach of killing with kindness and being sarcastically polite. Okay, sir, I can microwave your coffee for you. Would you like 2 minutes or 5? It's fun, usually pisses them off more, but they can't do anything because you're not saying anything wrong. I'm curious how the customer acts when they come in the next day / following week and you're still behind the counter. I wasn't actually thinking about that, but I think at the point where you think you got someone fired, like surely you would never return to that restaurant or cafe shop ever again. It is hilarious. Not the asshole. Fun fact, Harrods actually hires people for this. If a customer is upset in the store, the manager will call back the offender and fire them in front of the customer to satire them. Then the guys whose job it is to be fired just goes back to the back room and waits for another customer to get angry so he can be fired again. I think it's even better than you using it to make people think twice about being a-holes in the store. Yeah. Edit. So I've just overlooked all the responses and a lot of people are telling me it's not true. Honestly, the first place I saw this elsewhere was on Reddit being talked about completely seriously and none of the replies claimed to be false or untrue. I know it's not a reliable info source, but I kinda just saw the post, remember what I read, and thought it may be a good addition to the thread. Alright, there you know. Not spreading any false information here. I'll read you one last comment. This kind of reminds me of a video on YouTube where a teen goes to a barber for a haircut, and I can't remember what the prank was, but his intention was to prank the barber with some kind of shock reaction prank. Well, someone had told the barber about what the kid had planned, so the barber had his own prank planned. When the kid did his prank, the barber faked a heart attack and died right there on the barbershop floor. It was hilarious. I know this isn't the same thing as OP's post, but for some reason it made me remember it. Yeah, well, that is like literally just the same thing. Just like pranking, annoying people back, basically. I don't know. Funny. I think it's funny. Let me know what you reckon. Okay, the next story is probably the most awarded and crazy story we're going to read today. Just from looking at it, it's got around like 700 or 800 awards, which that is a lot. Awards cost money, as far as I'm aware of. And it got 81k upvotes, so crazy stuff. And the story is called Am I the Asshole for Telling My Wife the Lock on My Daughter's Door Does Not Get Removed Till My Brother-in-Law and his daughters are out of the house? Let's see. My brother-in-law's Sammy lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloan, I think it's Sloan, 18, with him a couple of months ago. His sister, my wife, and I have a daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Sloan have no respect for for Zoe's privacy? None. They used to walk in her room and take everything they get their hands on. Makeup, phone accessories, clothes, laptop for school, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy see no issues with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girl behavior. I completely disagree. Last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 MAC makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloan, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife, and she said she'd ask Sloan to apologize, but I got sorry a lot after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him. He said, "My daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff." He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place. And she suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to be older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him this is between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters, then demanded I remove it. But I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of the house. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them out and said her family will hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do, so she should start with shaming them for not taking their own son and nieces/granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everybody has been giving me and Zoe the silence treatment, and my wife is very much upset about this. Am I the asshole? So the overall Reddit vote on this story was not the asshole, and I feel like I have to completely agree. I do not think he's the asshole. I completely understand that it would be a very hard situation for the twins to, I don't know what happened. Was it a divorce? I can't remember what happened. Yeah, a divorce. Like, they lost their mom, they lost their house apparently, they have to move in with their in-laws. It is probably not the most comfortable situation for anyone, but being upset with that is totally valid, but it does not make it fair or okay at all to be invading the privacy of Zoe, especially not just taking her stuff and ruining it. I feel like with 18, you definitely have to know better than to do that. That's just kid behavior and not okay. Like, really expensive Mac stuff and then you're ruining it. Like, and if you know makeup, then you know exactly that you can really not compare Walmart $50 makeup palettes with actual later, the lock stays on. It's as easy as that. Like, I feel like that is only step 2. Like, step 3 is literally throwing them out the house. So be grateful that isn't happening. I feel like in that situation, if they can't afford to live on their own, or because of whatever reason they're living there, they really have to be nice and not steal the girl's stuff. It's mental. Yeah, so no, like, they really cannot act like that in someone else's house, or at all. Like, that's not okay to do to your friends, and the lock is totally fair. I don't know, I understand the mom is kind of in a tricky situation, in a conflict of interest between her husband and her brother, but really, you should back your husband and your daughter up on this. She really needs her privacy, and if her cousins want to spend time with her, as she said, they can knock. I'm sure they know how to. They can knock, and if she wants to spend time with them, she can come out, and if she doesn't, she can stay in. She's 16 years old. You really have to, like, give her privacy there. Like, that is not okay to force that onto her. She has the right to live her own life. So, yeah, no, not okay. The twins are definitely the assholes, and the parent, like the mom and the brother, definitely kind of asshole vibes as well. I am getting crazy person vibes here, so I just don't know in what way you would be able to justify that. I don't know. And the comment about the makeup, that was rude. Like, that is really unnecessary, sir. Like, I was doing my makeup way before 16. That's completely okay to express yourself in makeup when you're 16. Come on, like, if she's 10, you know, but like, she's 16, it's okay. Like, what? I'll read you the comments. So, top comment. Not the asshole, don't back down. You're the only one sticking up for Zoe. If her cousins want to use expensive makeup, give them your wife's. Ooh. I guarantee she won't appreciate sharing anymore. They need to start behaving like appreciative guests. Yeah. Someone said, I love this idea, not the asshole OP. You have your daughter's back and totally get her need for privacy and autonomy over her stuff. I am disgusted. I'm disgusted that their own mother isn't more supportive. Please lend some mother's makeup to the twins, because obviously it's what girls do, isn't it? They love to borrow and use each other's stuff without asking. Not. Yeah. Other comment. Not the asshole. Your wife harbors someone who tells you that Zoe has a defect in her personality for buying an expensive makeup kit. That is the kind of thing that has people thinking about divorce. I mean, yeah, that's correct. Like, what does he mean also with defect in personality? That is ridiculous. Like, it's just like, if you want to have quality artist pencils, you buy an expensive palette. And to me, it kind of sounds like an expensive makeup kit is more like meant like a color palette kit, especially with the smearing stuff, like maybe a really extensive color palette, because even though makeup is expensive, I don't think the usual normal small palettes are $60. So I am assuming that it's kind of more a professional, bigger kit, maybe like some really funny colors to do more of like artsy makeup. And also, she just bought that one palette. I'm sure she doesn't have a collection of like 700 palettes in her room. That could actually be described as a defect in personality. So I'm sure you spend more on your car. Anyway, other comment. Not the asshole. Your daughter doesn't feel like she has any privacy or respect in her own home, and you gave her a lock to give her back her privacy. You tried talking to your wife, your brother-in-law, and your nieces, and that got you nowhere. If your daughter has to accept 3 additional adults in their home, they need to accept her very reasonable boundaries of not taking and ruining her things. Good for you for showing your daughter your respect and support her. Yeah, like, legit. Someone said, they are 18, this is 100% vindictive. Mixing and destroying a new palette and leaving it on Zoe's bed screams of malice. That is true, that is true. With 18, you should definitely know how to handle makeup palettes and do not like mix the colours and stuff, because you would know that would ruin it. I don't know. Someone said, oh, 100% agreed, plus it's disgusting, do not share eye makeup with other people, girl. But they are also using the same brushes, not cleaning them, gross. It's not about taking something Zoe saved up for and destroyed it. They could have given Zoe an eye infection. That is actually true, do not share eye products with your friends. That's actually a thing. I don't share eye products with my friends. Skin products, highlighters and stuff, yeah, but nothing that touches the eye that can give you like pink eye and stuff. Stay away from that stuff. You do not want that. Alright, but I think enough is said. Definitely not his asshole. Not the asshole. I love that he's standing up for his daughter. And I hope they are able to resolve this situation at any point. This was posted 2 years ago, so I really hope this situation got cleared up at some point. I was just checking, but then no updates, sadly. So, we don't know what happened. Anyway, let's get on to the next story. And the next story got about 50, 60 awards and 31.1k upvotes. Man, we're having good stories today. Alright, and the title is, am I the asshole for calling my hot-tempered guy co-worker emotional to embarrass him into calming the F down? So, I'm an engineer and I work on a team with 7 decently chill guys and 1 guy with anger issues. Like, he can't just have a respectful disagreement, he'll raise his voice and yell and get up close to your face. I hate it. So I started by just complaining to my boss about it, and he brushed it under the rug, saying he's just like that, and if I thought he was bad now, I should have seen him 10 years ago before he mellowed out. It makes me wonder what he was like 10 years ago, but he sure ain't mellow now. It is also a small enough company that there's no HR, only the corporate management, which didn't help. So I took a different approach. I stopped calling him angry or calling what he was doing arguing or yelling. I just swapped in the words emotional or throwing a tantrum or having a fit. I was kind of hoping if I could just shift his reputation from domineering big man vibes to emotional and tantrum weak sad baby vibes. So I started just making subtle comments, like if I had a meeting with him and he got a temper, I'd mention to the other people, wow, it's crazy how emotional Jay got. I don't know he has the energy to throw a C-fit at 9 AM. I'm barely awake. Or when my boss asked me to recap a meeting he missed, I told him Dan, Jack and James had some really great feedback on my report for this client. Jay kinda had trouble managing his emotions and had a temper tantrum again, but you know how he gets. When a co-worker asked why he was yelling, I'd say, honestly, I don't even know. He was getting so emotional about it. He wasn't even speaking rationally. I tried to drop it in subtly, and some of my co-workers started picking it up. I don't think consciously, just saying stuff like, oh, another of Jay's fits or something. I got gutsy enough to even start saying to his face, hey, I can hardly understand what you're trying to so emotional. Big balls. And again, my co-workers started picking up on it, and I even got several of them telling him to get a hold of himself. After a while, he started to get a reputation as emotional and irrational, which I could tell pissed him off, and he stopped yelling at me as much. Anyway, he slipped once this week, and I just said, I really can't talk to you when you're being this emotional. And he blew up at me, asking why I was always calling him that. I shrugged and said, dude, you look like you're on the verge of tears. Go look in the mirror before you ask me. And he got really angry. I suggested he might start crying. That was a kind of flippant comment. He was red-faced angry, not tearful angry, and I could tell. I feel like a bit of a dick for being petty and trying to gaslight this guy into thinking everyone around him sees him like a crybaby. But I also mostly worked with the proper channels. But it also mostly worked when the proper channels didn't. Am I the asshole for calling my co-worker emotional when he got mad? This is hilarious. Honestly, not the asshole. That is funny. I like that. Like, honestly, he is getting very emotional. Like, it is not professional to yell at your co-workers. It does not bring a single point across. It is just mean and demeaning and rude and unprofessional. And like, what do you think is happening when you have these anger fits? Anger is an emotion. Rudeness, I don't know if that's an emotion, probably not, but you know, you're feeling something, you're annoyed, that's an emotion. So you are being emotional whether or not you want to. So I mean, he's really not lying. You have to be quite emotional about a topic to scream at someone else's face. It's like, really, it is not that serious. I don't know. Especially at work, like, what are you yelling about? What are you getting so worked up about that you need to yell at your co-workers? That is just... Honestly, I love the way he handled this, because really, like, talking to their management, that didn't help. So he works a different strategy. I don't know if this would be considered reverse psychology, but it sure sounds like it, and if it's working, it's working. Honestly, I feel like it's a great way of handling him, because probably the other thing you could do is yell back, but that probably won't be helping anyone. So I feel like this is hilarious, and you're not really gaslighting him. I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I love it. It's petty. I'm enjoying this. I think it's fun. It's fine. You're not the asshole, and he in fact is a bit crazy, because who the hell yells at their co-workers? I'm unsure. Top comment. Not the asshole, because he is in fact overly emotional. Nothing you said, except maybe the tears bed, is in any way a lie or even an exaggeration. Stick to the truth. That's right. Not the asshole. Here's another statement that you can use. Jay, why don't you step outside and take a minute to pull yourself together? Well, wait. Go on. It's okay. I love that. Someone said to that, you might want to see if he's unable to regulate his emotions after drinking coffee or taking breaks. Then you get to wonder to your co-workers if it is to do with his body's inability to handle caffeine or blood sugar spikes. I think Jay gets cranky after having his coffee. Maybe we should schedule meetings around that to avoid another meltdown. Oh god, like, that is reaching, but it's kind of funny, yeah. This man needs some help. Someone said, not the asshole, if he was a woman or femme presenting person. These are the exact words. These are exactly the things people would say to him with a tenth of the display. I enjoy a good script flip because we still have 2 really, really good stories. I feel like we've got such good stories today. I hope you're loving it as much as I am. Okay, you guys. The next story is called Am I the Asshole for Sending My Co-Worker into Anaphylactic Shock? It got around 30 awards and 32.4k upvotes. Big thing again. I'm at a loss here, guys. Realistically, I know I'm in the clear. Legally, I'm in the clear. But I'm being vilified by my co-workers, and I'm genuinely considering quitting my job because of this math. English. So, I work a pretty standard day job, and at night I help my friend at a restaurant which serves an assortment of Thai cuisine. To be honest, I'm insanely picky, but I fell in love with this peanut sauce the main chef makes, and he showed me how to make it. So about once a week, I take it on either noodles or stir fry to my day job for lunch. People know this, and a handful have tried it. It smells nutty, tastes nutty. It's a white girl pad thai, basically. Lately, my lunches have been disappearing, or I'll open my lunchbox to find half of my food is missing. I've tried addressing it, but nothing has been changing, and I was pretty sure it was one of the new hires who was doing it, but I had no proof until now. Thursday, I took my noodles and my entire Tupperware was missing, which hasn't happened before. I am pissed, but what can I do? A co-worker shared her pizza with me, and that was that until today. My boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the new girls, borrowed my lunch and had to be hospitalized. Turns out she's severely allergic to nuts, ate some, and boom, anaphylaxis. She used an EpiPen, had to be hospitalized, and now her dad is trying to hold me accountable for her bills and conditions. But I don't see it. Why should I pay? I don't mark my food as an allergen because I am not allergic to it. She was just dumb enough to steal from me and eat something she can't have. But he's being hateful, and some of my older co-workers are icing me out because I want him to report any harassment to HR if he tried anything funny. Brown noser, I guess. My friend is aware and offered me a full-time job, but I just can't help but feel it's unfair. At the same time, I feel like I could have killed his daughter though. So, am I the asshole? Alright, there is an edit, which I'll read you. It's quite long, so I feel like I might be explaining a little more things. Alright, so here's the edit. I did email the HR rep and let her know of the situation. She's been on vacation and gets back tomorrow, so I don't know if she's aware of what's been going on since last week. I should note that I work weekends most weeks, not quite an 8 to 5 Monday to Friday job, but yeah. My co-workers mostly chilled out by the end of my shift, thankfully, after I explained to the noisiest, friendlier person that I always bring a peanut sauce dish. I guess the general assumption was that I somehow found out who has been stealing lunches and decided to poison them. Ew. To answer a common question, this was the first time my pad thai was stolen, and no, I'm not the only victim of the lunch thief. I usually take a late lunch, and I'm not the only one, so I'm guessing the lady who was stealing food decided what was left is free for all. F her. My boss said it was an HR issue when I tried talking to him about lunches disappearing, and HR always said they'll look into it, or further into it, and nothing ever happened. We are 100% not allowed to eat at our desks, unless you have a medical reason for it, so that wasn't an option either. I'm assuming she's fine, but I don't know the severity of her allergy or how much she ate before she had a reaction. I'm not privy to her medical information, sorry guys. suing sounds like a great revenge, but probably not worth the cost of a lawyer. My friend let me take tonight off just to bitch about everything, and I'm probably going to take her job offer. One commenter was right. Even if everything settles down, I don't want to deal with a potential hostile or reactive workplace like this anymore. It's not a career with much room for upward mobility, and I didn't feel welcome in our group meeting today. And for the people calling this fake, okay, it's not, but even if it were, why are you getting mad about it? Karma doesn't give me anything. Okay, blah blah blah. Edit the recipe. Okay, I love this. I'll read you the recipe. Maybe you want to. 2 tablespoons red curry paste, 3/4 cup smooth natural peanut butter, 1/4 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons dark soy sauce, 2 TBSP, so that's a tablespoon, right? Yeah. 2 tablespoons cider vinegar, 3/4 cup of water, 12 ounces of coconut milk. I cook it on medium-low heat and add more water if it seems too thick, and use regular coconut milk. The low fat isn't as good in my opinion. There you go. If you'd like to have some peanut stir-fried noodles, there you go. I'll read you some comments, but I feel like a lot was already said in the update. The overall road on this thread is also not the asshole, and I fully support that. Like, he can really, like, what? He can, like, you cannot assume that she can just steal lunches and, not get an anaphylactic show of him. Oh, what the fuck? No, like, what the hell? Like, how? Like, okay, come on, peanut butter sauce, right? That smells like peanut butter sauce, looks like peanut butter sauce, tastes like peanut butter sauce, is peanut sauce. Like, if you're allergic to nuts, like, don't steal other people's lunches. Like, what? Do you know how often nuts or nut products are in some foods? Also, like, maybe don't steal the brown noodles from someone that look Thai. Because what we're expecting was in that. Like, I fully don't get it. Like, it's a brown sauce. How were you thinking that wasn't with any sort of nuts? Like, that is beyond me. I feel like that is stupid. I have, like, what? How did you not, like, use your brain for that one? Other than that, you really did not steal lunches of other people. Like, grow up. I feel like this is a really icky situation because she is the daughter of the boss. I feel like that, one, is going to give him problems in this company, and that is two, probably why this chick felt entitled to steal lunches. Because she probably was like, my company, my food, let's snack. This one looks good. Oh Jesus, I want an apology from this girl. That is honestly mental. I would go to HR and I would be flipping annoying, and I would put my foot down and I'd try to get that manager kicked out. That's not okay. And I'd be trying to get that manager's job. That would be my point of attack. I'm feeling petty today. We're being petty. Go get it. Stop it. Don't comment. Not the asshole. Go to HR immediately and make them aware of what's going on. You did absolutely nothing wrong, and your boss's behavior is 100% inappropriate. Yeah. Not the asshole. You didn't feed it to her. She stole it. In quotes, at the same time, I could have killed his daughter. No, she could have killed herself. My wife has a heavy-duty seafood allergy. She wouldn't eat anything without knowing what was in it. Like, Caesar salad dressings has anchovies in it. Never other sauces are made with seafood too. It can be in places you wouldn't expect. So she would never take someone else's food on principle first because it's stealing, because it could be life-threatening. I would have thought that anyone with a severe food allergy would take the same precautions, but obviously not. That's what I was saying. That's really not okay. his issue now. It's annoying for him, right? Because he has to change jobs or whatever now and has to sit through all this, like all these mean acts towards him. Alright, but let's get to the last story for today. Alright guys, I hope you're ready. The last story is called Am I the Asshole for not giving up my seat? My second, oh my god, talking today, sorry. Am I the asshole for not giving up my second free seat next to me on the plane? This story got about 70 awards and 36.3k upvotes. Let's see. I am obese. Like, I'm comfortable having 2 seats in the plane type of obese. I am well aware of that and really don't like to bother other people with my weight. A week ago, I was going to a conference by plane, and because I was going alone, usually when I fly with my boyfriend, I don't buy 2 since he sits next to me. I bought 2 seats. I fit in one, but my side is usually touching the other person next to me, and I feel uncomfortable for them. It happened to me that they gave me nasty looks, and I feel extremely uncomfortable the whole flight. So I sat down on the plane and put the armrest up so I would be really comfortable. Some couple came and they both sat next to me because they got separate seats, and they noticed the seat next to me was empty. Exactly what I was afraid of happened. My side kept touching the guy next to me, and he even pushed me a bit when he moved into the seat. I was feeling extremely uncomfortable and asked him if he could go to his seat because I bought this one for my comfort. He told me no, since the seat was empty and he wants to be with his girlfriend. Well, I told him I understand, but I feel uncomfortable and I paid for the second seat, so exactly this doesn't happen. He refused again and started to chat with his girlfriend. I called the flight attendant and quietly told her what is happening. She asked the guy to leave my second seat, and his girlfriend gave me a nasty look. The girlfriend mumbled something like, "Effing a fat bitch," under her breath, but nothing directly to me. So, am I the asshole for insisting on him to leave? Honestly, I feel so bad for her. Like, that must be really, really uncomfortable. I find it really nice for her to already be thinking of other people's comfort. I mean, she mentions that she doesn't like to make the other person sitting next to her uncomfortable, and I feel like that is already a really nice thing to do. She has 2 seats for her own comfort. I know a lot of people, like I've seen it before, that a lot of people buy the next 2 seats to them, so they have the complete aisle to kind of like stretch out and lay down, because it is a lot cheaper than buying business class or first class. And I feel like she approached it really, really nicely, and asked him that she was slightly uncomfortable and stuff, and she asked him to move. She told him she paid for the seats. I wouldn't even have had a discussion with them if I would have paid for the seats. Like, right when this guy was trying to sit down, I would have been like, "Hell no, sir. I need to move for a second. My chest scratched." Those sounds were actually, by the way, not me farting. Just FYI, it's my chair. Anyway, so what I was gonna say, where was I? Oh yeah, even if she just wanted that to put her legs up, she paid for it. And sitting there, like, what's the point of paying if someone else is sitting? I don't know. I know some airlines, like, if no one comes I feel like she tried her best to be wary of other people, and then she gets into a situation like that. That's just rude, right? Not the asshole again. Not the asshole. If it happens again, don't let them sit down. Block the extra seat and state immediately, I paid for 2 seats. This one is not available. Yeah, that's correct. Not the asshole. It doesn't matter why you purchased that seat. You could have bought it for the spirits of your ancestors so they could get you safely to your destination, and it would have been no one's business but yours. Sorry, this happened. That is hilarious. That's really funny. Someone said, lol, I guarantee you, if you say that to someone trying to sit in your seat, they won't want to sit down next time. Not the asshole OP, but the unnecessary comment from the lady. Asshole behavior. Yep, that chick is definitely the crazy person in this situation. I feel like if someone would ask me that nicely once, I would get up and move. Like, who knows, maybe, like, I don't know, like, if she says she bought it for her own comfort, like, move. What do you want? Or, you know, like, maybe there's someone still coming, maybe she got corona, you gotta move. I don't know, really annoying. I'm annoyed for her. I hope she's doing well, whatever she is, and I hope she gets up to a lot more traveling, because she really deserves it. Honestly, if I was the flight attendant, I would have took her straight to first class, like, especially if I would have had that comment. Like, they could have said together, but lady, no, you're sitting in first class. That would have, I promise you, that would have really annoyed these two. And then just out of spite, I would have told the guy to sit on his assigned seat. Because it's airline policy or something. I know actually some airlines do have policies about, like, that you're not allowed to move. My boyfriend and I, because we're both kind of like a good age for like these cheaper airlines, you know, they like Ryanair and what else other airline I was flying in, like Tiger Air in Australia or something, or Wings, I don't know, what was good, what was that airline called, anyway, randomly, but we often get seated at these exit scenes where you then like advised to help the person or open the doors and get the passengers out in case of an emergency. Because I'm asking, we're traveling together, I'm young, he's a young male, that's exactly who they want to be sitting there to help. So, literally always, every time we fly Ryanair or whatever Australian airline that was, we're always sitting on one of the emergency entrances, like without a fail, and it's actually pretty fun because they let us sit together a lot of times, even Ryanair, and that's like a big thing, right? And those places always have more foot space, so that's actually really nice. But we were flying with 4 friends, like two other friends once, and for that one we were sat apart, and I was sitting on one of the emergency exits, but my boyfriend was sitting on the other side at the emergency exit, and for some reason there was like no one on his side, it was super empty, so we were trying to just sit together in one aisle, right, and the flight attendant was like, oh sorry, like you can't sit apart because we need someone to be on the emergency exits. Like, I know that's a different situation, but I would have just made up a lie or something, or been like, yeah, it's policy, sorry guys, you gotta sit away, and you can go into first class with me. I don't know, but maybe I'm just petty. Anyway, you guys, that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed. These stories were really fun to read. That was cool. I don't know, that was a good session today. I am happy with it. So I hope you really enjoyed crazy people.